Who had the most embarrassing scene to film? What deleted scene should have never been scrapped? And which cast member has channeled her on-screen persona in real life? Hi, I'm Joy. Grab a Cosmo and get ready to laugh. Sex, the City and Bloopers. Sex and the City is about more than the title suggests. In a whirlwind of fashion, this show proves that sisterhood is worth its weight in gold.
What is that supposed to mean?
Ladies, I suggest you join me in the bathroom.
But a surprising amount of work is required to nail the sassy perfection we see on screen, especially when it comes to the constant references to sex and bodily functions. Sometimes it's just really hard to keep a straight face.
Maybe he did jerk off.
Of course, even without the constant sexual innuendos and humor, this fast-paced show is known for its verbal sprints and witty banter, even though these moments aren't always the easiest to film.
Am I Panagrammet? Am I Panama?
And none on the cast is immune to the occasional blunder.
Last night, Robert said I love you. Wow, that's wonderful. On a cookie. Oh, well, I need more information. It was...
Can I buy that for you?
Maybe. If you promise...
No, really. It seems getting tongue-tied is just part of the job.
What do you think it means? No one has anything to say.
You have a little man hanging from your breast. What else have you got?
Even the queen bee herself, Sarah Jessica Parker, occasionally has a bad day.
What'd you see? Where'd you go? What'd you eat? I don't know the lines anymore.
Although some days are definitely worse than others. Acting is tough, okay? We have no doubt that it's really difficult to be an on-screen sex goddess day after day, particularly when you've also got to look amazing while doing it. I mean, who hasn't experienced wardrobe malfunctions?
I got a little something for you.
We've all been there, right? Deleted scenes that should not have been cut. Sure, there are hundreds of moments throughout the show's run that have had us laughing and snorting into our popcorn, but can you believe that there's more we haven't seen? Of course, not every scene that's filmed will make it into the final cut, but some of the scenes that were scrapped were pure gold. And at the top of this list are 2 scenes from the 6th season which were never aired, despite the second being the last time that Trey ever appeared on the show. His final moment and his farewell were cut.
It's very hairy! You're not supposed to be able to grab someone's back.
Hey, this is how I was born. What am I supposed to do about it?
Get it waxed.
Hey, Goldenblatt, I handled your divorce.
Oh. Well,
Charlotte, honey, could you put a little sunscreen on my back?
But that's not all. The directors of Sex and the City also cut a scene featuring Stanford being super sassy, and it's a shame.
Regarding that man you supposedly loved, can I be totally honest?
I don't know, can you?
He was a big prick.
Oh, well, guess you can. But you know what, Stanford, you didn't know him.
Believe me, I know a big prick when I see one.
And we also missed a rare glimpse into the inner working of Miranda's tired mind.
Reimagined.
Carrie. Yeah, I'm awake.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, sweetie, it was just the wind. Go back to sleep. It's okay.
That's no wind. It's my in-case knife.
In case of what? Brisket?
In case of anything.
In case Mace.
Do you remember Carrie's adventures in France? Well, if this scene hadn't been cut, her French travels would have been that much better. Just take a look at what happens when something is lost in translation.
J'ai perdu mon collier. Carrie? I fell.
Ah, oui. Boom. You're the American? Oh, yes.
You speak English?
Of course.
Maybe it's slid way under the counter.
One deleted scene that absolutely should have aired featured Samantha, in which she laid down the law for Mr. Big, who was spending just a little too much time messing Carrie around. The fact that this scene never made the final cut is just enraging.
You see, Carrie's not as tough as she looks. So, if you don't have the balls to give her everything she deserves, you better leave her the hell alone.
Now, wouldn't that have made Mr. Big's later issues with Carrie so much more satisfying? Oh well, and speaking of Mr. Big, the best types of deleted scenes are the ones that prevent spoilers. Did you know that the Sex and the City team had a habit of filming alternate endings for season finales just to ensure that no one knew how the show would really end? Now that's smart and sneaky. Here's one such ending, in which Big really messed up and Carrie doesn't get her happy ending.
He went all the way to Paris to choke.
I'm going all the way to Napa to choke him.
Oh, let it go, ladies. It's big. It's the big ending we've all been waiting for.
Man, we're glad that's not the ending they went with, or we'd have gone through way more tissues watching that episode. Off-Screen Shenanigans. Despite the show's name and premise, not every member of the cast is so easygoing with bodily comedy. For Sarah Jessica Parker, there's a line that shouldn't be crossed. In an interview with Oprah, the actress who plays Carrie Bradshaw let us in on a secret: her most embarrassing scene to film in the history of the show. Now, before we show you this moment, keep in mind that viewers of Sex and the City have seen and heard it all. Unfortunately, the actress just wished they didn't have to hear this moment in an episode called The Drought.
She, not I, farted. That's the worst thing they've ever asked me to do.
And here it is in all its glory.
Is that you?
Poor Sarah Jessica Parker. To add insult to injury, the crew made her film the scene several times until she got it just right. Thankfully, there are ways to cheer her up.
You're fabulous.
Lighten up. But Sarah Jessica Parker isn't the only Sex and the City cast member who's had to do something pretty uncomfortable on the show. Each of the main cast has an impressive story about their most awkward scenes.
Why all the drama?
When asked about Miranda's worst scene, actress Cynthia Nixon thought that her dirty talking episode topped the list, although she admitted that it was actually hilarious to film.
It wasn't so embarrassing to film, but it's embarrassing to watch.
Kristen Davis, who plays the group's naive but sweet friend Charlotte, had such an immensely embarrassing scene to film that it was eventually cut from the show entirely. The shot was inspired by Mrs. Robertson, and recalling it still makes her uncomfortable.
He was traumatizing.
And this actress's second worst scene to film was another sexual moment in which she was called all sorts of dirty things during the shoot. Kristen admitted that she felt awful when her mom saw that scene. For Kim Cattrall, who plays Samantha, fart humor and a few curse words are nothing. In fact, her cringiest moment involved some prosthetics and a whole lot of laughs.
I guess Bozo the Bush. When the makeup artist showed me the little wiglet that was going to be double-face taped on me, I was hysterical.
Wow, we can only imagine how much laughter there was on the set that day. When life imitates art. And though Kim had to endure some pretty cringe-worthy moments across the run of the show, it's obvious that she's formed a deep connection with her character. In fact, she was so inspired by her character that she wrote a book with her husband called Satisfaction: The Art of the Female Orgasm.
It's not just about sexual things, it's about emotionally talking about sex, physically explaining things, and there's beautiful illustrations in the book as well.
And who said television couldn't be informative? But that's not the only thing that Kim's been hiding from us. Apart from actually being British and born in Liverpool, she's had a lifelong desire for a very specific superpower.
Ooh, I'd like to read people's minds. Then I could control them.
But she's not the only cast member to have been influenced by her role on Sex and the City. After all, playing the same character for a decade, there are bound to be a few similarities. For Cynthia Nixon, playing a lawyer must have had something to do with her next career path. In addition to her 2 Tonys, 2 Emmys, and a Grammy, she's looking to add another achievement to her list: Governor of New York. And of course, she's doing it with style and sass.
Cynthia for New York, why not Nixon for New York? It's got that Nixon, New York.
It's not the alliteration that I'm really hiding from.
Now that's an election we're keen to see. But one thing that all the Sex and the City ladies seem to have picked up from the show is a love of haute couture. And that includes Kristen Davis, who really knows how to make an impressive entrance with fashion.
You always look fantastic tonight, though.
Thank you.
This dress
This is a special dress in honor of your hair.
Okay.
Do you want to borrow it? It would look great.
Because they're both super sexy.
But interestingly, Kristen is very unlike her character in one very important aspect that we regularly see, or rather hear, on the show: language.
But my character almost never swore. It was a big deal if Charlotte swore. But in life, I swear more than all 3 of the other actresses put together.
If you like this video, you're definitely gonna love our other blooper video compilations, so check those out and stay awesome.